بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم نحمده ونصلي على رسوله الكريم. So moving on to the next mabni, we have al-kinayat. So we finished mudmarat, asma al-ishara, the mawsul, asma al-af'al, and the aswat. Now we also finished murakkabat. Kinayat and the zuruf al-mabniyah. These two are left from the mabniyat. Okay. So he says here al-kinayat. Right. Kinaya, what does it mean by kinaya? He explains it here. Al-kinayat hiya asma'un tadullu. These are nouns which imply or show one of two things. Ala adadin mubhamin. It denotes an unclear number. So for example, indi kada. I have indi kada min ad-dirham. I have so and such amount of dirham. Kam rajulin ra'aytahu. How many men have you seen? Meaning many of them. Kam kitaban qara'tahu. How many books have you read? In a, not a question way, but a rhetorical question. So it doesn't show you how many. It just means a lot, many, kada wa kada, such and such amount. So it's not particular. It's ambiguous or vague. There's a slight difference between two of them. Or hadithin mubhamin. The word shows a conversation or a topic or something was said or something was done, but you say ambiguously. For example, qala kayta wa dayta. He said such and such. You can say kayta. Okay. So this kayta, you can have all three harakat on it. Kayti, kaytu. So you can read it all three ways. Okay. So it just means like so and so, such and such, X amount. The same way we have in our language, words we use for just to make vague statements regarding what somebody did, somebody said, regarding a number. You also have kinayat in Arabic. Correct? Now whilst we're here, the most important rule we have to have a look at is the kam. The word kam has a few uses in Arabic, and he's going to analyze that in detail. So he says here, wa'lam anna kam ala qismain. There are two types of kam in Arabic. The first is istifhamiyya. Okay. وَمَا بَعْدَهَا مَنْصُوبٌ مُفْرَدٌ عَلَى التَّمْيِيزِ نَحْوُ كَمْ رَجُلًا إِنْدَكَ. The first type of kam is istifhamiyya, when the kam is used for asking a question, i.e. how many. So, and وَمَا بَعْدَهَا مَنْصُوبٌ مُفْرَدٌ. What is after it, i.e. the tamyiz after it, will be mansoob and singular. The word after it will be what? Mansoob and singular. So for example here, we have kam. This is for istifham, how much, how many. The rajulan is what? The rajulan is mansoob and mufrad. It is mansoob and it is mufrad. So how many people are by you? It's a question. Wa khabariyya. The second type of kam is known as kam khabariyya, where it's a rhetorical question. And he says here a few lines later on, وَمَعْنَاهُ التَّكْثِيرِ. The purpose of this is takthir. Meaning you're not asking a question, you're saying rhetorically saying, how many times have I told you? I have told you many times. How many times have I explained it? It's not a question to ask, get an answer, but it's actually to explain. I have said this many times before. Do you understand it? وَمَعْنَاهُ التَّكْثِيرِ. وَبَعْدَهَا. So the kam khabariya, after it will have a majroor and mufrad. Correct? So kam malin. So for example in English, we would have this could differentiate between the meaning in writing. The tone will differentiate in both languages. In Arabic, the haraka. So kam malan is what? Question. Kam malan indak. How much money do you have? I don't know. And kam malin indak. Wow, you're rich. Do you understand? Okay. So one kasra can make you rich. Okay. Aw majmu'. So you can have two forms. Kam malin, kam rijalin. So if you have rijal or rajul. Okay. So you use the same example throughout, it'll be easier. So kam awalin, for example. So when it's majroor, whether it's singular or plural, it gives the meaning of takthir. The question is not a question, it is rhetorical and is there to show takthir, many. Okay? And when it is mansoob, it'll be singular and it'll be a question mark. Okay, so if you look at it here, we can summarize it. You say it is come. The word after is either going to be majroor or it's going to be mansoob. And when you have majroor, it's either going to be mufrad or jama'. But in both cases, it would get the meaning of takthir, to show a lot. And its mansoob state will make it what? Istifham, a question. Understood? Yes? Yes? I'll have a few examples coming up shortly, inshallah. Where we see different forms of it in the Quran. Okay? And he says here, وَتَدْخُلُ مِن فِيهِمَا. He says both of them have min. Come istifhamiyya and come khabariyya. But other scholars haven't mentioned it in istifhamiyya. They've mentioned it usually in khabariyya. And the usage usually is more in khabariyya. You get it in istifhamiyya, but it's more common to have it in khabariyya. Okay, so it's more common to have the min on khabariyya as opposed to istifhamiyya. So he's saying here, kam min rajulin laqitahu can be a question, and kam min malin anfaqtuhu can be a exclamation, i.e. khabariyya. Now the problem here is, how would you know? Only context will help you. That's why this question mark form with min is not so common. In the Quran, the min always comes with khabariyya. Okay? So primarily, it comes only here. And it comes khabariyya. And come istifhamiyya is not common at all. Okay? Okay? So look. Yes, and he says here, وَقَدْ يُحْذَفُ التَّمْيِيزُ لِقِيَامِ قَرِينَةٍ. So you have come, followed by a majroor or a mansoob. But that majroor or mansoob word can be removed if you don't need it. The context helps you identify without it. For example, kam maluk. How much is your wealth? So your wealth can't be I don't know, salt or vinegar. It has to be what? Dinar or dirham or pounds, or maybe even camel or sheep in those times. So kam, the tamyiz is mahzoof, because we know when I say kam maluk. Do you understand? Kam qara'ta. Now you either know, well, kam kitaban qara'ta, kam waqtan qara'ta, based on the context. You get it? So if you have a context, you are allowed to remove the tamyiz of kam. Okay? Wa kam darabta. Again, it can be kam waqtan darabta, kam darbatan darabta, kam rijalan darabta, kam rajulan darabta, sorry. So again, the tamyiz is mahzoof and the context will allow. Here he's made it maf'ul, he made it masdar. How many times have you hit? It can be how many people have you hit, how long did you hit for? But again, the context will help you determine. And there's no context here, but he'll give an example of darbatan. But in theory, it could have been kam rajulan, kam marratan, kam waqtan. But only in context, because you have qarina. And when you have the qarina, you'll then know what is being implied. Yes? So rule number one, you have kam. Kam is a kinaya. It can either be for a question or rhetorical question, which means takthir. And sometimes you have min on them, and sometimes the whole tamyiz can be removed, if you can understand from the context what is being implied. So far so good? Yes? Now moving on, we have a few Quranic ayat. So let's analyze how it's being used in here. So here, we have kam min fi'atin qalilatin. So as I said to you before, the min is always used on the khabariyah form, the takthir form in the Quran. So it means here, how many small groups have overpowered larger groups with the permission and the command of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So this kam is not a question, it's rather an exclamation. How many? Okay, or you can say here, a large many. You can actually change it into a khabariyah if you want to give the meaning. That a large many small groups have overpowered large groups with Allah's command. So here we have mufrad and majroor, but the majroor is because of the min. Yes? Then kam ahlakna qablahum min al-qurun. So we have min. Ji, go ahead. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. The question is it majroor because of the min or is it majroor because of the khabariyah? the books that I've read, they've said it's majroor because of the min. And they've actually said that when there's no min and it's kam rajulin, the kam doesn't make it majroor, the min mahzuf makes it majroor. But it's a matter of how you do taqdeer of it. So they have said that there's min makes it majroor, and when there's no min, the min muqaddar makes it majroor. Others will say kam is amil. You get the same result, just a different way of approach. But the books I've read, they've said that the min is amil. Okay? Yes? So now in here, the next ayah, we have here a few points. So in here we have mufrad and we have min, right? 2 points. In here we have min, we have jama'. We also have what? A fasal, space. It doesn't have to come directly after it. So kam min al-quruni ahlakna qablahum. So that's how you can say fi ghayr al-Quran. But here's a fasal. So you're allowed to have a fasal between kam and its tamiz. Okay? And now this one here, and the difference now here is what? This is alif lam, this is nakira. So it can be both forms. Alif lam form and the nakira form. What's the difference? You have to look in tafsir, the context, the siyaq and the sibaq. Where al-qurun is brought, where qarn is brought. So this is mufrad again. Mufrad, nakira. This is jama' ma'rifah. Yes, we have, and all of them mean we have destroyed many a nation. And here kam labithtum, tamiz mahzuf. Ay kam yawman labithtum, kam waqtan, muddatan labithtum. It's removed because the context allows us to dictate or understand what is being meant by kam. So far so good? Yes? Now in this section, the author discusses the i'rab of kam. How do you do i'rab of kam? But it's not only for kam, it's for all asma'ul istifham. Now remember, there are two types of istifham. Harful istifham and ismul istifham. A harful istifham does not have any mahallul i'rab. It's neither mubtada, khabar, it's nothing. The ismul istifham must have an i'rab because all ism have a mahallul i'rab. How do you do i'rab of this istifham? What does it become? So if you have a look on this chart, you will see that he divides it quite nicely. The first we have here is, we will either have a harfun jar or a mudaf before that ismul istifham. Okay? For example, ala man sallamta. To use the word sallamtu alayhi. I said salam to him. So now the man is here. Before man, we have ala. So obviously, what's the i'rab of man in here? Majroor. It's going to be majroor. Because before the man, there's a harfun jar. Similarly, if we had, for example, kitabu man qara'ta. Whose book did you read? Then kitabu man becomes the man becomes a majroor because it's mudaf, becomes majroor, it's mudaf ilayhi of kitab. So the first rule is, if any istifham has a harfun jar or a mudaf before it, that istifham will be majroor fi mahall jar. For example, min ayna ji'ta. So ayna is majroor because of the min. Okay? The second possibility is, there's no harfun jar before it, but there's a fa'il after it. What is there after it? A fa'il. Now this fa'il can come in one of two scenarios. The fa'il can either be غير مشتغل عنه or مشتغل عنه. What does مشتغل mean? This term and this concept has already come in ما أضمن عامله على شريط التفسير, also known as اشتغال, where the fa'il cannot do amal. The fa'il cannot do amal on that verb, on that noun, sorry. Because the fa'il is already doing amal on the pronoun of that very same verb. So for example here, look. In here, man sami'ta. The sami'ta have a zamir after it? No. is the dhamir after, there's no dhamir after it, so obviously it can't refer to anything, but there's no dhamir after sami'ta, after the verb, which refers back to the istifham. So in this example, we say sami'ta is fa'il, this is fa'il, and the man becomes the maf'ulun bihi muqaddam. So it's become mansub because the maf'ul bihi muqaddam. It can also be like a maf'ul fi muqaddam. For example, ayna tadhabun. So tadhabun is a fa'il fa'il, ayna maf'ul fi muqaddam. You're going to have here limadha dhahabta. Why did you go? So limadha is a jar majroor. You can say it's muta'alliq or fi mahalli nas maf'ul li ajlihi ghayr sarih. It's showing the reason. So it's maf'ul li ajlihi ghayr sarih or the muta'alliq of dhahabta. Yes, so in all these aspects it becomes the mansub. Yes, kayfa dhahabta, kayfa fa'alna bihim. That becomes the hal. So far so good? Are you understanding so far? If after the istifham, the ismul istifham, there is a verb which is mushtaghil anhu, i.e. the verb is doing amal on the pronoun of that ismul istifham, and it can therefore no longer do amal on the istifham itself, then it becomes mubtada. For example, sami'tuhu or sami'ta, who did you hear? So this who dhamir is referring to man, therefore sami'tu is busy, occupied in doing amal on that, therefore I can no longer do amal on the word before it. So sami'tu, the who is a maf'ul bihi of sami'tu, which refers back to man, therefore sami'tu is mushtaghil an man. So man becomes a mubtada. Because you can't become the maf'ul bihi because sami'tu already has a maf'ul bihi, which is the zamir of the man. Understood? Yes? If there's neither a jar or majroor before it, nor a fa'il after it, then we have a few possibilities. If that istifham is not a dharf, doesn't show time or place, then that istifham becomes the mubtada. Man anta. So man becomes mubtada, anta becomes khabar. And if that istifham is a dharf, because usually the dharf are not mubtada. That's just keep a principle in mind. There's a bit more detail in Qatl Nadar regarding this. But for now, just keep it as such. Mata Ramadan. So it really means Ramadan, mata. Ramadan al-yawm. Ramadan ghadan. Ramadan ba'da shahrain. So this becomes the khabar muqaddam. And Ramadan becomes mubtada'un. مبتدأ مؤخر الحمد لله يهديكم الله ويصلح بالكم. Okay, that becomes the khabar. Have you understood this concept? Any questions? Okay, so let's have a look. من بعثنا من مرقدنا. Man is the ism al-istifham who. What does man become in this sentence? What's the i'rab of man? Ji. Man. What is the question? What does it mean? Man ba'athana min marqadina. Who resurrected us from our sleeping places, i.e. our graves. Pardon me? Correct. It's the fa'il in terms of the meaning. But, so what we say here, the ba'atha has its own zamir huwa. So it becomes a mubtada. So after the ism al-istifham, there's a fa'il, but the zamir, the fa'il is mushtaghil anhu because of its own zamir. Yes? Just like Zaydun qama. Zaydun qama has its own huwa, so this has to be the mubtada. Same thing with man ba'athana. Ma lawnuha. What would the i'rab of ma lawnuha be? Is a mubtada again. Because why? No mudaf before it, no harfun jar before it, and no fa'il after it. Is the ma a zarf? There is no time, place? No, it's just مبتدا. ماذا تفقدون؟ فقد يفقد. What are you missing? So ماذا تفقدون? What's the إعراب ماذا تفقدون? مفعول به منصوب. Why? Because after the istifham we have a verb, and the verb is not مشتغل عنه بضميره. If it was ماذا تفقدونه, for argument's sake, في غير القرآن, what would it become then? مبتدا. Correct. متى نصر الله? What is the إعراب of متى? Is it جملة فعلية? Okay, is it majroor first of all? It's not majroor. No jar before it, no mudhaf before it. Is there fa'il after it? Yes, because there's no fa'il after it, no harf jar before it. So we have to check, is that a dharf or غير ظرف? It's a dharf. So then we say here is خبر مقدم مبتدأ مؤخر. Understood? كم لبثتم or كم لبثتم به. It's going to be منصوب and منصوب مفعول. What kind of مفعول? What would the answer of the question be? Put the answer. You get your Irab. كم لبثتم. Make any answer. For example, it's like كم لبثتم مدة طويلة. So it becomes what? مفعول فيه. كيف what's the question? كيف فعلنا بهم. كيف فعلنا بهم. كيف becomes what? منصوب becomes the حال. أين المفر? Where is the escape? خبر مقدم. من أي شيء خلقه. Jake, what's the question? No. Because it shows time. So it shows time. Because it doesn't clarify a number, it doesn't clarify nisbah. So it's not tamyiz, it's a adad. It's a mudda. But it also depends on what the tamyiz of kam is. Kam yawman, kam muddatan, kam marratan. But here we know it's kam yawman, kam muddatan. So it's not going to be tamyiz, it can be mansoob, maf'ul fi. Min ayyi shay'in khalaqa. What's the i'rab of ay? It's been majroor, preceded by harfun jar. So in the book, where he discusses further, he only mentions the i'rab of kam. But this is not only rules applying to kam, it applies to all istifham, all asma' al-istifham. Harful istifham, hal, and hal have no i'rab. So no issue there. The question is, how do you do i'rab of asma' al-istifham? So asma' al-istifham, very simply, you answer the question, make an answer for that question, and whatever the answer that replaces the question word is, becomes, that's the i'rab of the question word. Unless there's ishtighal of the fa'il, then you have to look at it a bit twice. So in summary, the istifham itself, if there's a harfun jar or a majroor before it, then obvious, if there's a harfun jar or a mudhaf before it, it will become majroor, either majroor as the harfun jar or majroor by mudhaf ilay. If there's a fa'il after it, then it becomes the ma'mul of the fa'il. It will either become the maf'ul bihi or the hal or whatever, unless the zamir is mushtaghil anhu, unless the fa'il is mushtaghil anhu. If the fa'il is mushtaghil anhu, it becomes mubtada. If there's no fa'il after it, the istifham becomes the mubtada, unless the istifham itself is time or place. Then in that case, the istifham will become the dharf, i.e. it becomes the khabar muqaddam. Yes, so summary, jar mudaf before it is going to become what? Majroor. Fa'il after it becomes the ma'mul of the fa'il. Yes? Mansub. Of mansub. Correct? Unless the fa'il is mushtaghil anhu. If there's not a jumla fa'ili after it, or not a jar or majroor before it, then it becomes mubtada, usually, unless the istifham itself is a time or place where it becomes khabar muqaddam. Okay. Now, what he's doing here is explaining the i'rab of kam. What does kam become in the tarkib and i'rab? Is it marfu? Is it mansoob? Is it majroor? So he's saying here that kam can actually carry all three i'rabs, depending on the context. It can be marfu, mansoob, majroor. Remember that the adatul istifham. So the tools of istifham are two, the asma and the huruf. The huruf are hamza and hal. Because hamza and hal are harf, they have no i'rab. So for example, Allahu khayrum amma yushrikun. Ya Zaydun qa'imun, simple. So is istifham, no i'rab. Zaydun mubtada, qa'imun khabar. Yes? But when you have an ism al-istifham, the ism al-istifham must have a mahal min i'rab. But the issue comes about, they always come first, and they're always mabni. Asma al-istifham mabni. And they always come again with a sentence. They have sadul kalam. So what's the i'rab of these? Get the issue? So now he's explaining how do we understand, and this principle is very important, because not only applies to kam khabariya, it will also apply to other istifham as well. So he says here, the first i'rab is mansoob. Okay, and let me give an example here. If I said, let's use هذا ضربت. What would هذا become in a sentence? What would you make هذا in a sentence? مفعول به. If I said هذا ضربته, what would you make هذا in the sentence? No, what would you make it? It's emphasis in terms of meaning, but in terms of i'rab, it's not ta'keed in terms of i'rab. Yes, in terms of meaning, it's emphasis. Any idea? Can it be maf'ul? Exactly. There's a dhamir going back to it. The dhamir, so we say here, this fa'il is too busy. Remember then ismar? ما أزمر عامله على شريط التفسير, also called ishtighal. So this is doing amal on this. But now, Darabta got a new toy. So this is mushtaghil. He's busy, he can only do one thing at a time. So he's doing amal on who? So therefore, he can't do amal here. So therefore you have to make this as what? Correct, mubtada. Become the khabar. Yes? So it's called ishtighal. Mushtaghil, being busy or preoccupied. Okay? So based on that, what he's saying here, that if we have kam, so the word kam will be mansoob إذا كان بعده فعل. There's a fa'il after it. But the fa'il is what? غير مشتغل عنه بضميره. That fa'il is not preoccupied from the kam because of a dhamir. So look at it here. كم رجلا ضربت وكم غلام ملكت مفعولا به. In this scenario, it's mansoob as maf'ul bihi. Why? Because we have, it is followed by a fa'il. Does this fa'il have a dhamir referring back to this, which makes darabtu's amal go on to that as opposed to this? Is the dhamir after darabtu? No dhamir after darabtu. Therefore, rajul becomes a maf'ulun bihi of this word. Similarly, when we have kam khabariya, kam ghulamin malaktu, we say kam becomes what? Maf'ulun bihi of malaktu, because malaktu has space for a maf'ul bihi. Correct? It can also become the masdar. Kam darbatan darabtu. How often have I hit? Wa kam yawman sirtu, wa kam yawman sumta. This is now maf'ulun fi. So now come is maf'ulun fi in here, maf'ulun fi in here. It shows time and place. Why? Because in essence, the sumta, the darabtu in these examples do not have a dhamir which you say disengages it from the rajul. You can do amal upon this. You can govern this. You can govern. The governance is not a problem because there's no dhamir which takes up this place, which preoccupies it. Correct? So now in these cases, if there's a fa'il after it and it's not mushtaghil, then it becomes what? Mansub. You got that so much so far? Yes? وَمَجْرُورًا إِذَا كَانَ قَبْلَهُ حَرْفُ جَرٍ أَوْ مُضَافٍ. If before it is a harf jar or a mudaf, then what will happen? It will become majroor. So for example, kam has a ba before it. Become rajulin marartu. How many people did you pass by? So look, kam has a harf jar before it. Kam is what? Irab is majroor. Lafdan is mabni ala sukun fi mahall al-jar, fi mahall al-jar of the majroor of ba. Similarly, ala kam rajulin hakamta. Upon how many people have you made a judgment? So ala kam, harf jar before it. Now the example, غلام كم رجل احترمت ومال كم رجل سلبت. So غلام كم رجل. So غلام is a مضاف. كم رجل is a مضاف إليه. How many men slaves have you honored? ومال كم رجل سلبت. Have I honored? And how many people's wealth have I stolen? If we use another example, I said anfaqtu or something. But anyway, salabtu. How many people's wealth? So kam rajulin is a mudaf ilay of mal. So obviously now, kam becomes majroor. Yes? So this becomes the majroor because it's mudaf ilay, and that becomes the maf'ul bihi of this. Are you with me? Okay. And he says here, il-marfu' if there's neither of the two issues. What does that mean? There's not a fa'il after it which can do amal upon it, nor is there a mudaf or a harfun jar before it. Okay? So for example, let's leave the text for now. We have here, kam rajulan akhuka. Kam rajulan akhuka. So akhuka is marfu. Is there a fa'il after kam? No. Is there mudaf or harfun jar before kam? No. Now, what do we make it now? If it's not a dharf, meaning it doesn't show time or place, it becomes mubtada. So akhuka is the khabar, and here it becomes mubtada. Afterwards. وَكَمْ رَجُلٍ دَرَبْتُهُ. وَكَمْ رَجُلٍ دَرَبْتُهُ. وَكَمْ رَجُلٍ دَرَبْتُهُ. Now here, kam is followed by a fa'il. Kam is followed by a fa'il. But what's the problem with this fa'il? Or the issue? It already has the dhamir, which refers back to the kam rajulin, and this amal goes on to here. It governs this. It cannot govern kam rajulin. Therefore, we have to make kam mubtada. This becomes mubtada. It can't become maf'ul bihi because darabtuhu already has its own maf'ul bihi. Do you understand? Yes? Understood? Another example is it will become khabar if it's a zarf. Because the shibul jumla, which shows time and place, or it shows time, it doesn't become the mubtada. Whether shibul jumla or it is a time, you will make it, that becomes a mubtada, and the kam will become the khabar. So in this example, you want to say kam yawman safaruk, this becomes the mubtada, and in here it becomes the khabar. Kam shahran sawmi, how many months am I fast? This becomes the khabar, and this becomes the mubtada.